4th of July. I'm Jonathan, and right now I'm doing something that feels super American to me. I'm driving a Cybertruck across the country. Well, I'm not really driving. Tesla's driving for me. Elon gods are driving for me, and I'm with my partner and co-founder, Regina.
Hi.
Regina is super shy, for those of you that haven't met Regina, and so just to get her on camera, I had to lock her into the Cybertruck and then surprise her with camera. So say hi to Regina. Everybody post in the comments. Hello, Regina.
Hi, everyone.
Regina, how come you're so shy?
I was born this way.
She was born this way. All right, well, we're gonna break a little bit of the shyness. So we're in our mobile podcast studio, and today I wanna talk to every business owner watching this about freedom. Specifically, what does freedom mean when you're trying to build something? Today's the 4th of July, and we spend the day celebrating the idea that some people were willing to fight and sacrifice everything for the right to build something that they own, something for themselves. And if that's you, if you're building a business, you signed up for that same sort of crazy. You bet on yourself, you took the risk, you said, I'd rather fight for something I own than to be comfortable in something that I don't own. That's the spirit of today. But here's the truth. Every business owner is only going to be free if they hire great people. And that's where we spend our time. A bad hire doesn't just cost you money, it holds you hostage. You can't build your freedom betting on C players. So that's why we're doing this. Regina and I are going to be going cross country, and we're gonna stop and have real conversations with real business owners about one of the most important things in business, and that's how do you hire A+ humans in the age of AI? Because let's face it, AI is changing everything about how business is run. But the one thing AI can't replace is having the right human being in the right seat. And so companies, if you're struggling to have all A players on your team now, it's only going to get more difficult. So we wrote a book called Unrecruitable. It's about building a team so strong, so identified with their mission that your competitors literally can't recruit them away. And we built a platform called WhoHire. Regina's brilliance behind that. She is our chief scientist. She has come up with all the algorithms. So I want you to drop in the comments if you're watching, and as we go live over the next few weeks, what are some of the key challenges that you have with hiring, or what are your thoughts about AI and the impact that it's having on your businesses? Because we're going to read all of these comments, and we're going to bring them into our next live stream. So I want to bring Regina in. So she's the brains behind how all this works, and you can see she's like killing me with these daggerish eyes, like, why are you making me do this? So I'll just distract people. This is where we're headed. We're headed up outside of Fountain Hills at the moment. But Regina, tell the people, when people say that, can AI really predict humans and whether somebody's a good hire? What would you say about that?
Well, it's actually not the way most people think. AI actually can't predict people.
Okay.
It actually predicts patterns. So we have hundreds of millions of data points from real hires in the trades and services market. So it's real people, real jobs, real outcomes.
See, you didn't die, even though you're shy. So, for those of you watching, you don't know how hard this was. This is probably the most difficult thing. She's gonna like break out in a sweat here in a minute, but you can't see it. I'm gonna fix it in post-production. I didn't actually even go live. Well, this is just a trial run, so we can totally redo it. No, I'm kidding. We're live right now. But here's the thing. And you know this to be true if you're in a business. People are unique, but they're predictably unique. And one of the things that I admired when I first met you, Regina, was that you took a very analytical approach to something that can seem mysterious. And you have an inventor's mind around figuring out what makes people tick, what makes people perform. And I think that comes a little bit from your background. Tell us about where you grew up and where you're from and all of that.
So I grew up in central Taiwan.
Okay.
My family's generations of rice farmers, and I'm the first one to go to college. My grandparents don't know how to read or write, and so that was sort of a big breakthrough in the family.
Post in the comments whether you can hear, because this is all trial run. I don't know if you can hear Regina. We might have to mic up separately. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
But
well.
Let's see. Yep, I think you're coming through.
Okay, let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Otherwise, that's a lot of stress for nothing. Yeah, so how did that experience growing up in rice paddies influence the way you thought about people? Because what were you able to observe as you grew up through your life?
So I think regardless of environment, so I grew up in extreme poverty.
Yep.
I think that's when you really realize, the value of hardworking, resilience, and I think that's actually what we need to look at when we are looking at job success in people. That's really what we should be focusing on, is their core characters, not actual skills or experience or background, because that all comes with life. Skills are trainable, but identity is not.
Yes.
So what we measure is someone who actually, at their core, their psychological profile, their behavior patterns, and then we pair that with actual job performance outcome.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be even more interesting as AI continues to grow, because now, of course, AI is writing the job ads. You can even do that inside our platform. They're really great ads.
Yes.
But you'll even have AIs applying on behalf of humans and custom writing their job experience and their cover letters and all that. So it's going to be more and more important not to rely just strictly on what has somebody done or what have they said they've done in terms of their resume, but really who are they at a core fundamental level.
You also can't rely on how they actually perform at the interviews as well, because you can't have someone interview so well. Like, I would never interview well because I am so shy and I have very limited words. I would definitely not come across, as someone. So even when someone interviews well, it doesn't mean that they're actually going to have success in the role they're applying for.
Yeah, so I think that's important, because oftentimes when we're meeting with business owners, and we're talking to them about hiring, and especially when we're teaching them to do interviewing, most of them say, what question should I ask?
Right.
And the truth is, there's no question you're going to ask in an interview that's really going to give you a good insight into who the human is in a reliable enough way that you can make a hiring decision. I think about even in romantic relationships, when people get married, they spend months and months and months, sometimes years, getting to know each other, going on dates. These are long interviews, and we still end up with a 50% divorce rate. So it's sort of foolish to think that we could take a 30-minute interview and just in an interview understand who somebody is. So we've designed our platform specifically to help companies be able to get an insight into who they're hiring. Is it perfect? No. Is it a vast improvement? Of course it is. Being able to have an additional lens to look through. So when somebody comes in, for instance, and they're applying to be a technician in HVAC or a plumbing company, we're comparing that candidate to thousands of people whose performance we actually know. Hey, this is amazing driving. It just pulled over, went through some chaos here. We're really at just the pinnacle of technology. It feels like every day living in the future. So let's move on, and let's think about when you think about the future of hiring. What is one of the visions you have for the future? Just deer in the headlight. You got all sorts of visions for the future.
Well, I really think, and this actually it's the same core principle when we started it, is that it's actually not about what someone's skill or experience or background is their core character.
Yeah, core character.
So their future, has no longer relying on resumes, and it's not based on interview performance.
Yeah, I often say when you're hiring someone, I don't care what you've done, I care who you are. And especially now in the age of AI, we're going to be looking for people that have two main characteristics. And one of them I call synthesis. And this is the ability to take thousands of ideas and really just, one, be able to absorb those ideas on a level deep enough to pick, hey, here are the 2 or 3 that really have a good possibility of having success in our organization with our financial realities, our political realities, whatever constraints that you have in your business. And then secondly, I think it's important that you have somebody that has taste. And a lot of times we think of taste as like music and art and food, but the ability to say which of the things that are coming out will actually land well with the human beings that we're trying to sell to or service inside of our business. So I think it's exciting times. Certainly the pace of change is happening quickly, and I'm watching this traffic. It's amazing, going around a very slow traffic. I forget I can show the front camera, and we just got through. I love this going through the desert. For those of you that haven't ever visited the desert, you should. These are saguaro cactuses. They've got the traditional cowboy cactus, and many people don't know that those cactus actually grow their first set of arms when they get about 70 years old. So when you're looking at this, you're literally looking at hundreds of years of history, which is impressive. So, all right, so 4th of July, most people are off, and I guess we're off. This is sort of a fun, unusual thing to do. We're not sitting at a desk, although we've got our cyber desk here. This is the Cyber Command Center. We've got our podcast going up here. I've got my switcher panel here, coffee in hand. Those biceps are way better in real life, right? So I'm gonna have to adjust that. It's gonna have to be on you. But all right, so have a happy 4th of July. Give Regina a big shout of applause just for her first live stream. You're going to get used to this by the time we're done. You're no longer going to be shy. But before we go, I'm going to just try and play one short testimonial from somebody who has attended our classes, doubled their business by using our platform. And then we're going to cut to black.
Coming to the Unrecruitable event has been life-changing for us. It has truly challenged my business partner and I to become the best leaders for our team. We have been using this system for about a year now, and we have literally doubled our revenue.
So go to the salesboss.ai. You can see where we're going. We're going to 12 cities. We'll be in a city near you soon. Get your tickets, have a conversation with us. We're helping equip companies to hire A+ humans in the age of AI.